notices 2 weeks before Congress. Oh, sorry, 2 weeks before the meeting. I read again. In relation to Article 11, this is my proposition, or what I'm proposing. Where the NEC is proposing an issue or issues for discussion at an extraordinary Senate meeting, NEC shall communicate to the Senate through writing, who shall then ensure that all members are served with copies of such notice at least 2 weeks before the meeting. That is for clause 11. Clause 12. Any issue to be discussed in an extraordinary meeting, which is not initiated by the NEC, shall be communicated to Senate, who shall then ensure that all members are served with copies of such notice at least 2 weeks before the meeting. Because the clause in clause 12, which is not being initiated by NEC, it is there because in clause 11 it talks about an issue which is being initiated by NEC. Yeah, honorables, let's talk about this. I think it's, I don't know.
I think it's okay now.
Okay, what I'm also thinking is, Honorable SG, apart from the NEC and any other party can suggest an issue to be discussed at Senate? Which any other party, even a mere member?
No, the PCs.
The PCs.
Senate comprise of NEC and provincial coordinators. So if the issue is not raised by NEC, it means any provincial coordinator can call for an extraordinary Senate meeting.
Okay. Honorables, please, let's talk. What are your thoughts about this? Maybe what I propose is okay. Or any other member have something to say about how we can better amend this? Because we've had a debate. We are just thinking about the amendment. Or maybe if you have another counter debate according to what has been said, or extra debate. Honorables, anytime let me borrow the word from Honorable Clement, partial. Honorable Samuel Adingo, I can see you are talking. Hello. Hey.
Honorable Sam, I think it's okay. We can vote on that because
Honorable Sam, yeah, I think while the House is quiet on the matter, I think they all would all agree with the above discussed deliberation.
Okay. So let's vote to amend Article 3 and Article 4. Sorry, 12, because these two are kind of correlated. Okay, Article 11 is when NEC is proposing an issue or issues for discussion. Please let's listen to the amendment very well. When NEC is proposing an issue or issues for discussion at an extraordinary Senate meeting, NEC shall communicate. NEC shall communicate to Senate through writing, who shall then ensure that all members are served with copies of such notice at least 2 weeks before the meeting. So what we are implying is NEC will write to Senate, and Senate will ensure, because Senate, when we say Senate, they have their chair, they have their secretary. So Senate will ensure that all members are served with such notices before that. This is Article 11. Please, any seconder to this motion?
I, Honorable Clement Enioben from the 19th chapter, do hereby second to the above said motion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Please, did we understand it? Did we understand the motion? Because we've had a case where Senate is quiet. Sorry, Congress is quiet, but we will put the votes there and people will vote against the motion. Did we understand it?
Please come again before it's too late, I beg.
Oh, honorable, but okay, let me repeat it again. Clause 11. Where the Senate is proposing an issue or issues for discussion at extraordinary meetings or extraordinary Senate meeting, the NEC shall communicate to Senate through writing, who shall then ensure that all members are served with copies of such notice at least 2 weeks before the meeting. It means that if NEC is proposing something, NEC should write to Senate, and Senate will ensure that all the members of Senate or the senators are served with such notice 2 weeks before the meeting. Please, is it clear now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Honorable Tech Team, yeah, if you can change it to accept and reject so that it will be very clear. Thank you, Honorable Malik. I have to come to change. I learned it's a very good chapter. Please, reject, no was wrong. The reject is now first and the accept is now second. So please watch well so that I don't want to say it. It's okay. I learned Chendu is a very interesting chapter. I learned so, and last year they were one of the major contributors to NUGS-CHINA. I don't know about this year. I learned is very, and if I wasn't the chair, I would have said that, and I learned they also have beautiful ladies. I would have said that, but now I'm the chair, I can't say it.
It's Ginger, it's Ginger, it's Ginger. Chendu is out.
Oh, okay, okay. Then I think Chendu has won that battle. You see, when it was the topic of ladies, you see, honorables are commenting.
Not all honorable commented. I beg you. I was sitting on my comment.
Okay, 77%, 23%. So Congress has voted to accept this review under article, under clause 3 of the article under discussion. Honorable Francisca, please take note of all these for us, okay, so that the NJC can work very fast. Now, clause 12 is the same. We are also amending that based on clause 11. Any issue to be discussed in the extraordinary Senate meeting, which is not initiated by Senate, shall be communicated to the Senate. So we are amending NEC to be Senate, okay? I read again, any issue to be discussed in the extraordinary Senate meeting, which is not being initiated by NEC, shall be communicated to the Senate, who shall then ensure that all members are served with copies of such notice at least 2 weeks before the meeting. So, honorables, we are changing NEC to Senate. Okay. Okay. Any seconder to this motion before we vote?
I, Honorable Clement, from the NUGS chapter 3, hereby second to the said above motion. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a seconder, tech team. Oh, please, the motion again. Please, Honorables, the motion is that any issue to be discussed, okay, in an extraordinary Senate meeting, which is not being initiated by NEC, shall be communicated to the Senate. So it means that we are amending NEC to be Senate. We are taking NEC out of that clause to be Senate, okay? Shall be communicated to the Senate instead of NEC. Yeah. Who shall then ensure that all members are served with copies of such notice at least 2 weeks before the meeting. So according to the debate, instead of shall be communicated to the NEC, we are seeking for amendment to change it to Senate instead of NEC. Please, is it clear now? Is it clear, honorable members?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Thank you. Tech team, if you are ready. Yeah. Thank you, honorables. So I think the vote is on the screen, if I'm right. So let's vote. The poll is not displaying on my screen. Or how many of us have this experience, or have this issue too? How many? Because maybe Honorable Malik.
Honorable Sam.
Yeah.
The main reason why the poll is not displaying on the screen is you have two IDs being created, like your name.
No, not me.
So,
not me. It's from an honorable member, Honorable Malik. Honorable Malik, move to the main screen of your Zoom. The main screen. I mean, the screen.
Hello.
Yes, please, Honorable.
Yeah, please. It's not displaying on my phone. I can only see poll in progress, but I can't say it.
okay, so you click on the poll in progress.
So it means I can't vote. Oh, it's okay.
No, like, have you clicked on the poll in progress?
It's now I'm seeing the result, but I didn't vote, but it's okay. It's fine.
It's all right.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
Sorry, Honorable Malik. Okay, so we had, I think, 96. Am I right?
Yes,
Honorable,
but it's displaying 96. The results.
Maybe Honorable Malik is your network, because when you talk, it's even breaking. Maybe. Okay, honorables, let's move on to the next review, clause 13. Decisions taken at Senate meeting shall be communicated to all members of NUGS-CHINA through the provincial coordinators within 14 days after such meeting. We have a review here. I don't know. The portfolio Senate doesn't depict Ghanaian practice or institution in our governance, in our governance process. Neither does it go according to the Chinese government system, if even we are to consider the union is based in China. It appears in many chapters of the Constitution. Consider using a portfolio that depicts Ghanaian administration institutions like constituencies and parliament instead of Senate. NB. Majority of us will definitely go back home to take up leadership positions and hence should be socialized into it at NUGS level. I read it again. The portfolio Senate does not depict Ghanaian practice or institution in our governance process. Neither does it go according to the Chinese governance system. If even we are to consider that the union is based in China, it appeared in many chapters of the constitution. Consider using a portfolio that depicts Ghanaian administrative institutions like constituencies and parliament instead of Senate. And the majority of us will go, oh, the Honorable has moved. Honorable Clement, I was reading from the screen, but it looks you have switched.
Sorry, is it okay? Honorable Chair, is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay now. Majority of us would go back home to take up leadership positions and hence should be socialized into it at the NUGS level. Honorables is before the House, constituencies and parliament. So if we change it to constituencies and parliament, who are the MPs? Who are the members of parliament?
The pieces are the
This review there, this review there. This review there, constituency there.
So because in I stand to be corrected, but in Ghana constituencies, do we have president, vice president, secretary, financial
no, we don't
coordinator?
have. We have MPs. Then we have MPs and DCs. DCs, they fall under the district of the constituencies.
Okay, honorables, it's before the House. I don't know much about constituencies and parliament.
Hello.
Yeah, Honorable Salom, you can go ahead.
I think he's trying to suggest that we change the name from Senate to maybe Parliament or something, because there's nowhere in our practice that we have Senate. I mean, in Ghana, we don't have Senate anywhere. I think that's what he's trying to suggest. But in student politics, it's Senate that we usually use. So well, I don't see any issue with the name Senate. It's the same thing that they are going. It's just a name. It's just the name he's talking about. But basically, they're going to perform the same role.
Yeah, because I was thinking the name Parliament has a meaning, and it depicts something. For example, they are made up of parliamentarians who are representative from the various constituencies, right? And it's not only the parliamentarians or something. There are additional. We have speakers and all that. Yeah, because in student politics, you know of Senate, you know of Congress and all that, but constituencies and parliament. Okay, I know in UCC we had a parliament house, but I don't know. Honorables, please, let's talk, okay? I can see a lot of honorable members here. Maybe in Ghana you were student leaders. Let us hear from you.
Honorable Sam, if I may.
Yes.
You can during my tenure back home as part of the, you can say, SRC student body, the best which we had was a GA. That is when our constitution wasn't gazetted by a lawyer or a friend. So that's when we had a GA. But when it was gazetted, it was changed into parliament. Notwithstanding, with this about things which we have here, the Senate still holds, and I don't see the need for us to change it to any other, unless of course Congress wants us to change it to
Honorable Clement. Honorable Clement, please, we are struggling to hear you.
Oh, sir. Hello. What do you say?
Yeah, I can hear him.
I hear you clearly, but I struggle to hear him.
Honorable Chair, if you can help me elaborate on my point.
Okay. So he's talking about, in a nutshell, he's suggesting that in our context here, Senate is appropriate for us. rather than parliament. That in summary, that's what it is. Okay, let's vote on this. Since members are quiet, let's vote. Okay. I, Samuel Fosudu, now would like to move for us to vote. Yeah, for us to vote on this amendment, either to accept it or to reject it. Are we accepting it or to reject it, or to change our composition to constituencies and parliament instead of something like Senate and all that? Are we voting to accept or to reject it? Any seconder to this motion, then we move forward.
Okay, I, Malek and Kroma from Jenny chapter, second the motion put before the House.
Thank you, Malik and Kroma. Thank you. Let's move on and vote. Honorable Tech Team, if you're ready. Okay, 75% of the House have rejected the suggestion, so we can move ahead. Honorable, you can move to Article 16. It talks about National Executive Body. The National Executive Body of NUGS-CHINA, there shall be a National Executive Officer, herein called the officers, who shall form the National Executive Committee, which shall constitute of the following. The review is that the officer should be in capital letter rather than small letter. But I think it should read, there shall be National Executive Officers. Am I right? Because there shall be a National Executive Officer, therein called the officers. Honorables, let's look at it well. The officer should be changed to a capital O. Yes, it's true, but let's read it well. There shall be a National Executive Officer, one person, therein called the officers.
Hearing.
Sorry, herein after called the officers. I think instead of officer, it should be there shall be National Executive Officers, if I'm right.
Yes.
Yeah. Please, Congress, is it true? Because there shall be a National Executive Officer. Officer is just one person. It's not like a committee. This is an officer. And it goes on to say, hereinafter called the officers, plural, who shall form the National Executive Committee, which shall consist of the following officers, underlined.
Which shall consist of the following officers.
It says there shall be a national executive officer, singular, right? National executive officer, singular. Herein called the officers, plural, who shall form national executive committee. Committee is made up of a lot of people, so it's okay. Which shall consist of the following officers, plural. So I think it should be, there shall be national executive officers, hereinafter called the officers.
I agree.
Who shall form the national executive committee, which shall consist of the following officers.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I think this is just a grammatical something. Maybe we don't have to really vote on this. It's just a slight. Do we have to vote on this, Congress?
I don't think so.
The Congress is quiet today.
Let's carry on. Let's carry on.
Yeah, there's a grammatical error. Oh, okay. Now this is the issue. Okay, so we'll correct officer code. Now let's go to the next one. Clarification, just curious. But I think it's not an amendment. Let's go ahead. The person is just curious. It's not a. Let's go ahead. Why Secretary General? Why Secretary General and General Secretary? Any reason? Let's go on. It's not an amendment. It's just a curiosity. Please, Honorables, do you agree with me for us to go on? Because it's not an amendment. It's not like the person is seeking for us to change it. The person is just seeking clarification. Do you agree we should go on, please?
So in that case, who will respond to that clarification?
Honorable Sam.
Yes, please.
I think going further, there are other issues raised concerning the name Secretary General and General Secretary. There are some inconsistencies in the Constitution where you see Secretary General and you see General Secretary being used interchangeably. So well, we will get there. So even if we skip this argument, we will still meet it elsewhere.
Okay. And yes, so let's debate it so that if you reach there, we've already talked about it. Why Secretary General? Okay, according to our Constitution, Secretary General is for the national level and General Secretary is for the chapter level. Why Secretary General and General Secretary? Honorable SG, why do they call you Secretary General? Honorable SG.
Some this question, I think the NJC. No, Honorable Sam, if you remember, the last time we met Dr. Oreku, the former NJC chair, he said they intentionally made the National Secretary Secretary General and the chapter secretaries General Secretary. But as to the reason, he said he consulted some lawyers so that there will be a difference. We will be able to differentiate between the National Secretary and the chapter secretaries. But with the reasons the lawyers gave, that one, you were there and he didn't tell us.
I remember. Actually, I like that what you said. This was a crucial issue during the last amendment. It was also a crucial issue. And according to the honorable member, we had a meeting with them to guide us to what we are doing now. He said they actually had to consult some experts to really differentiate between the Secretary General and the General Secretary. So I don't know, maybe we can consult them also for them to take, but that meeting was a long meeting. We're discussing other things, but we didn't see clarification into what the lawyers what the experts responded to.
And there was no confusion.
There wasn't any confusion. That's why they still have it in the Constitution. They clarified everything for them to understand. Yeah, so they contacted some experts for them to explain it to them, and it was agreed, and they maintained it.
So can I come in?
Yeah, you can come in. Please, who is
Yes.
talking so that we
This is John. This is John Virgin.
Okay, you can go ahead, please.
Okay. I think it is just the issues of nomenclature and role play. Those things can be used synonymous, even at the chapter level. When you have sub groups, where, for instance, we have the academic committee at the chapter level, where they also have their secretary. Is that not it? So most of times in an organizational structure, the secretary general is used to describe as he's like an administrative officer, a collection of secretaries, of which he is the administrator. Just to create a distinction between the other people with the same name, so that his designation is well defined. There's no problem with it. So, for instance, as I indicated, at a chapter level, you have several committees. These committees even have their chairman and president, depending on the name. And they also have their secretaries, they have their in that order, depending on the structure. So I don't think it is an issue that we should even be debating, because it is just about nomenclature, most of the time used in an organizational structure to distinguish the powers. So if you say secretary general and you have other, what do you call it, general secretaries, it means the secretary general becomes the administrative head of all the secretaries of the other groups. So I don't think it's a big thing we should be wasting time on. Thank you.
Thank you. I agree with you. Actually, the small research that we did on this matter, because we when we read it, we kind of did a small research about it, and the secretary general is like the chief administrator, like what Honorable Demuyako said. So it's like every secretary, when you go to an organization, we have the secretaries are kind of administrators, right? But when you go to the apex level, let me say the national level, the chief administrator is the secretary general. Then the other administrators of the various, let me say, regions, in terms of, let me use Ghana's structure, maybe the various secretaries under the various regions or divisions will be referred to as general secretary or secretary, something like that. It's just like a positional something to show the powers of them, not actually, yeah.
The administrative head. So sometimes some people even regard like a CEO. Then others are just ordinary administrators. Just like the way you've indicated, it is for you to define the hierarchy in an organization, so that the positions are well defined, the line of authority, the line of reporting, and everything is well defined, so that we are able to distinguish who is the administrative head or the CEO of that organization, and under him there are other substructures. So I don't think it is a big deal. We should maintain it as such. Other than that, we will be in a meeting, for instance, where we have all the general secretaries of the chapters. Then our national chapter secretaries also there. We say, yes, secretary, can you talk? Then this is where we begin raising our head to know which of the secretaries are we addressing. So it is just for specificity, and then to be able to identify how the hierarchy of things in an organization or a union works. So I think there's no big problem. Let's carry on.
Yeah, and I think Francisca will be very sad if we change it, because I don't know. Yeah, dear friend, I have a pin to Sammy.
The SG.
Yes.
We are not my handy over. Salon, never begging
Okay. Okay, so honorable.
But she might have also set a record of being the last secretary general. You add it to your CV.
Actually, the review is not even seeking for us to amend it. It was a clarification, and I think the education has been done. So the second is just a positional something. It's to show who is the boss, in quote, the boss, and who are serving under the various chapters. So the National Secretary General, the Chief Administrator, then we have the other administrators at the chapter levels. Yeah, so I think we can go ahead with the rest. Okay, the review suggestion is talking about still on our officers. A suggestion to have either a PRO or press secretary to release the secretary of too much workload and handle communication with external bodies like embassies, other Chinese and international partnerships. There should be a portfolio for multimedia. The head of multimedia shall be responsible for all PR activities and all media affairs. There should be a requirement for contesting for head of multimedia and FC positions. Hence, the FC should have accounting background, and the head of multimedia should be a technically inclined person. Yeah.
Honorable Sam, please, I would suggest that you read point by point, because like
I think 1 and 2 correlate. The reason I'm reading all of them is some of them is like Okan multimedia no 2 now, was Abekan or 3. That's why.
So, we received suggestions from different sources, so that's why we made it.
Okay.
Like that. Yeah.
Okay. Let me read it one by one then.
So it's not that like this suggestion is from one particular source.
Oh, okay. True. Okay. But it's interesting, say, correlate. Okay. A suggestion to have either a PRO or a press secretary to release the secretary of too much workload and handle communication with external bodies like embassies, other Chinese and international partnerships. Honorables, the honorable members are suggesting that we have a PRO or a press secretary to release the secretary of too much workload and handle communication with external bodies like embassies, other Chinese and international partnership. Okay, hands are already up. Let them talk and let's see. Honorable SG, I don't know. Yeah, you can talk.
Okay. I will say that one, when it comes to communication with external bodies like the embassy, is the sole responsibility of the national president. However, he sometimes delegates whether the secretary, any of the NEC members, to do that on his behalf. So that is, I would say that wouldn't be a valid reason to have a PRO. And the second point is, we have Media and Publicity Committee, and under Media and Publicity Committee, we have PR, Public Relation Team, who are in charge of releasing information. They are supposed to be the PR for the union on the whole pages, social media, Facebook, YouTube, and everything. But it seems with the PRs that we have, some of them, or sometimes they don't really do the work as PR. So that's when you see that is mostly the organizer or the secretary who is releasing information, doing the work. But we have a subcommittee who has to ensure the work of PR is done. So it's not necessarily done by the secretary. So I think there's no need for us to have a PR at the national level when we have the organizer who is in charge of PR activities. When you check the constitution, it's the work of the organizer. So I think we can reject this amendment. Thank you.
Okay, honorable member, thank you. Honorable Samuel Wuhan, you've not spoken today. Let me give you the opportunity.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I think this particular suggestion is an interesting one. However, in as much as it is well appropriate, because the official, as the secretary, official spokesperson of the union, the official is the national president, and that is part of his duties as a president in the constitution, unless of course the president seeks to tell us, probably in a communication, that that particular aspect of his job is tiring and he thinks that it should be given to another portfolio. So therefore, on that basis, I think that the issue of PRO is really not a need for us. Number two, with respect to the press secretary, it looks like the secretary actually took words out of my mouth, but it's quite the same. And I think that if we have anything to do, it is just a case of reorganization, because this is about press, and press is quite broad. Part of the work that the secretary does is press related, in terms of bringing out notices and all that. So I think that it could just be an internal arrangement, but to have an office where we would call someone the PRO of the union and the press secretary of the union, I think that it is not necessary. And therefore, this particular review suggestion should be rejected. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable. I saw Honorable Demiapo, I saw your hands up. Or what you wanted to say has been said.
Yes. Quite frankly, I think the Secretary General has addressed most of the things I wanted to say. But let me just add that maybe what the Media and Publicity Committee have to do is that they have to also break their committee into subgroups. For instance, a committee for multimedia, their purpose is just to communicate and design flyers. Then the one that will also communicates the input of those flyers, those kind of stuff. So that, for instance, when you take the National Academic Committee, we have subgroups which are working together in aggregate to form the National Academic Committee. So if it is deficient in that of the Publicity Committee, I think the work of the PRO can fall under that, when that committee is broken into various segments, so that the multimedia groups are there. Even those who do the writing, come out with the idea, those who do the design, those subgroups should be created under it, so that it will take care of what we are discussing. But creating an independent office for the PRO, it will be duplication of a lot of roles. The secretary is there, she communicates or he communicates. Sometimes the organizer communicates. Any of the national officer is a communicator, depending on where the information is coming from. But if you want the official spokesperson of the group or the union, it's either the president or the secretary general. So I don't think we have to duplicate such roles. They should just create subgroups or subcommittees under them to take care of the various. Somebody can be in charge of the PR, so that purposely we have the chairman of the subcommittee of media and publicity. Under her or him, we should have those subcommittee with committee heads, so that they can relay whatever information that we want to communicate to the general public. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable.
If I can come in.
Honorable Salom is the incoming national organizer, and also
that's
incoming secretary.
SGS.
Oh, sorry. The incoming secretary general, and also was a member of the technical team. Let's hear from him. Maybe we'll get.
I just want to say that Honorable John's suggestions, I think they are already in place. So under the MMP, that's the Media and Publicity Committee, we have three teams: the PR, editorial board, and the technical team. So the technical team takes care of the multimedia aspect of the committee. The PR deals with communication with the members, and then the editorial board takes care of the editing of any released from NEC. So I think his suggestion has already been taken care of. So there wouldn't be a need for us to create any new subcommittee. It's already in place. All we have to do is to make them effective. That's all. Thank you.
Honorable, is your last comment?
Honorable Sam, I wanted to say what Honorable Salom said, so that's all.
Okay. I think one of the challenges of NUGS-CHINA hasn't been portfolios, but the effectiveness of the portfolios. People come for positions or serve under committees, and sometimes even attending the meetings of the committee becomes a problem. I think suggestion 2 and suggestion 3 are together, if I'm right. Sorry, I think suggestion 1 and suggestion 2 are all the same, because they all talk about.
Honorable Sam, I don't think suggestion 2 is the same as suggestion 1. Suggestion 2 is requesting for a portfolio for multimedia. That's the head of multimedia. So I think maybe Congress can consider the debate on that, because the multimedia is different from the PR. You know, now the union, everything is digitalized. So, and the work of any subcommittee is headed by the vice president. So I think this particular review is seeking for someone who will be in charge of the technical issues in the union.
What becomes of the head of the technical team under NMP?
I think this is really interesting. Let's vote on the first one and open a debate for the second one, because I can see a very long debate coming from there. Let's vote on the first one. Honorables, let's vote. There's a suggestion for us to have a PRO or a press secretary. Are we accepting or rejecting this proposal? I, Samuel Ofosudo, would like to move for Congress to either accept or reject this suggestion. Any seconder to this motion?
I, Malik Nkrumah from Chennai chapter, second the motion before the House. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Malik. Thank you, Honorable Malik. Thank you. 13. I don't know if after this article, Congress can take maybe a 5 minutes break to drink some water, because some members join us early as 3, 4, so that they can sip some water or stretch themselves, and we continue. I don't know if it will be allowed, so that members can drink some water or something. Just 5 minutes. Honorable Clement, will it be permitted when we finish this article?
Yeah. Honorable Sam, as the House, as Congress, maybe a Congress. Hey. As Congress permit and deem it fit, I think we can.
Yeah. So that members will not feel dehydrated and all that.
No.
Yeah, I think we need to continue.
No breaking.
No,
Congress is not breaking. Right.
No, I'm not saying we will leave the meeting. No.
And Malik. Now, please
let's proceed.
Malik, when my harmony mind, you have right to talk.
Please, we shouldn't go for a break. Let's finish.
Yeah, let's continue, because if we leave, we might not come back.
Yes.
So you are not logging out. You are not logging out to do, but as
yes,
I
but
was
then
talking about logging out. I mean, just going to drink water and coming back.
Let's continue.
Please, let's continue.
Please, we must continue.
Let's finish it.
Okay.
Result is out. Result is out.
Okay, so 64% have rejected this review. Honorables, the second portfolio, so we reject the first review. Yeah. The second one is talking about a portfolio for multimedia and also suggesting that the head of multimedia shall be responsible for all PR activities. The meaning of PR is what? Public relations, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
I think so.
Okay, so public relation activities and all media affairs. But okay, let me leave this for you. Because we have voted against a public relation officer. That is the full meaning of PRO. And now this portfolio is about PR activities and all media. So isn't it the same? Because someone in charge of PR activities is also a PR officer, right? It's also a PRO. So, but yeah, let Congress debate. Maybe I am not getting it right. Honorable Samuel Wuhan, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Chair. I think that you have rightly said it already. The second review request is strongly attached to the first one that has already been rejected, and therefore, just as the explanation of the groups have been made, there is actually no need for someone to be in charge of PR because there is an office responsible for that. And in terms of multimedia, it is strongly part of the work of the Media and Publicity Committee, of which, as has been said, they have about 3 or 4 subdivisions already. So it is just the Media and Publicity Committee that probably need to look at how they could reorganize themselves to cover every aspect of their work. And the thought I am having is that it is possible that that particular committee is also under the wrong office. If the president is the chief communication officer of the union, and if the secretary is the one in charge for press releases, how then do we have the Media and Publicity Committee under another office? I'm kind of struggling with that, but that is a different subject altogether. If you look at this, I am saying that I think that it is strongly connected to the first one. And if we have rejected the first one, this one equally needs to be rejected. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable, to mention or to talk about the one that you mentioned about the media and publicity being under the wrong office. When you look at the rules of the vice president, Article 17(2)(e), we have the vice president shall chair all subcommittees established by the NEC. So maybe if you refer to that clause, yeah. But the suggestion you made is great, and personally I also agree with that. Yeah, Honorable Salom.
I also agree with the last point that he made, that possibly it's under the wrong office. I don't know if there's a review pertaining to that, but I think well, I don't know if at this point we can do anything about it, but there's a problem with that particular part of the constitution saying that it should be under the vice president. I think the president would be the best person to head that committee.
Okay.
Sorry.
As it stands now, please let me go through so that we don't debate on something that is not before Congress. Let me please cross-check this article so that we don't debate on something which is not before Congress, please. 1 minute for that. Because we give various committees the opportunity to suggest their reviews. We give members the opportunity to suggest. And let me see. To the best of my knowledge, we don't have such clearly stated to the media and publicity and the media side contesting whether it should be under the president or vice president. So Congress, let's focus on what is before us for the sake of time. Thank you. Elsie, you can go ahead.
What I wanted to say is, I think you've clarified that with regards to the media and publicity being assigned to a wrong portfolio, I think maybe when we go to the functions of the various portfolios, we will know what to do there, but we can't specifically say it's assigned to a wrong office as of now.
Yeah, thank you. Honorables, so Honorable Salom, is your hand still up or the old one?
Is the old one. Let me just.
Oh, thank you. Honorable, so let's vote. Should we have a different portfolio for media and publicity? Oh, sorry, for the multimedia. Should we have a different portfolio for that? But I think, please, great. Now, the three, let me combine these two because they also have similar items. There should be a requirement for contesting for the head of the multimedia and FC positions. Hence, the FC should have accounting background and the head of multimedia should be technically inclined. Okay, so according to the debate that I had so far, the debate is about we not needing a special portfolio for multimedia. So I think the head of multimedia, according to the debate, have been crossed out, but awaiting Congress voting. Now, when it comes to FC positions, this is the case. This is my opinion. If we are to say all FC should be accounting students, that means that in every, our constitution gives permission for members to contest, right? And mostly we deal with members that voluntarily want to serve the union. Yes, it is true that if we get a student who has accounting background, is good, yeah, to do with all the auditing and all that, like what we have right now, where the honorable member has pure accounting background and even being a PhD candidate in this field. But what if someone comes up and the person is not from accounting background and he's the only person, like what we had in this case, where NEC has to issue a lot of letters calling for people to contest, right? So if we don't get anyone and there's only one person who has volunteered to serve the union, and we say because you don't have an accounting background, you are not qualified, that means the position is going to be vacant. And there is a saying that half a loaf is better than what? None. So it's kind of complicated, but let's hear from Congress and see what we can do about that. Yeah, so that we can vote on the two and see. Honorable Thompson, your hand is up.
Yeah, Honorable Sam, I hope I'm being heard.
Yes, you are being heard. You can go ahead.
I think if we say somebody should have an accounting background, it doesn't necessarily mean that a person should be an accountant. No, it could be that the person has served has served like maybe a chapter FC before, or maybe the person has done something that has to do with accounting. However, I think with such thing, is the vetting committee that will be concerned much about it. So I don't think is for me. My suggestion is that I don't think it's necessary to be in our constitution like that.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable. Actually, I'm also not referring to an accountant. I'm referring to still accounting background, right? Because let me use the case of Beijing. We had a financial controller who was a student of economics, not actually like accounting background, but was an economic student and he did a very great job with accounting for our days. And I think NUGS-CHINA, we don't really do accounting, heavy accounting stuff, because we are a non-profit agency, right? It's all about, how do they call it? Surpluses and deficits, if I'm right. It's not really accounting complicated things. And moreover, we still leave positions to the liberty of people to come. So if we don't have anyone and the person doesn't have any idea about accounting, should we sack the person or should we deny the person the opportunity? Sorry, yeah, income and expenditure. Yeah, income and expenditure. Thank you. So income and expenditure and all that. Honorable, let me hear from Honorable Martin. We've not heard his voice. Honorable Martin. Chendu.
Yeah, the chair and the house. From this submission, I think I will go with your own presentation and that of what the previous honorable member just spoke about. I don't think that this position we should compulsorily look for someone who is into accounting or economics. Holding a position does not necessarily mean you are well equipped, like being a president of this union. The person has no experience of leading before, but he might be able to lead with the help of his co or her subordinates. So as a good person whom you think you think you are weak, or you might not have the financial background of the whole scenario, I don't think if someone who has no knowledge about this will even come forward for this. And then even if the person comes, he will be able to work alongside with people with those critical ideas help. So there are committees under him which he's going to work with to improve whatever, or to be able to successfully do whatever he or she is supposed to do. So holding something like an accounting or economic degree, I don't think it's very necessary here, because as you just said, now looking for even people to hold on positions are very difficult. So if someone comes out to take a position of this sort, he or she does not have this background, are we going to reject the person and then make the portfolio or what? So let us just accept it that anybody can apply for this position, and then we advise that the person will just work with people with such background in the form of a committee to help him accomplish his or her task. Yeah.
Thank you. Because of time, I will take the last person who hasn't spoken. Honorable Francis Kwesi, you can go ahead.
Thank you for the thank you, Chair. My addition to this is that the position we should require somebody who have basic bookkeeping principle. Let me give you an example. I didn't do accounting, but I know income and expenditure. I know how to keep basic principles in basic bookkeeping principle. I serve as an account officer for a committee I was working on. It's a basic principle. Know how to record income and how to record expenditure, how and where to, when to place them appropriately and make the necessary reconciliations for as the books will balance. So if you want to say that we're good, waiting for somebody with a strong accounting background, just like you rightly said, you might not get somebody to come in. So you should make it open. Somebody who is committed and knows basic book, we call it bookkeeping, basic bookkeeping, principles of bookkeeping. I think you should be able to take up the position. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. So, yeah, honorables, we're going to vote, and this is what we're going to do. An item of the suggestion under the third one is in the second one. So I want to remove the head of the multimedia to join the multimedia suggestion so that we vote on the two and we vote on the FC separately. Okay, so that we can do that. So the suggestion is that we should have a portfolio for the multimedia, and the head of the portfolio should be responsible for all PR activities and also all media affairs. And also taking an item from clause the third suggestion to add up to the second suggestion, the head of the media, the head of the multimedia team should be technically inclined. Okay, so we are voting whether we want to accept a multimedia, a portfolio multimedia into our union. So I, Samuel Ofosudo, now will move the motion for Congress to either accept or reject the suggestion for a portfolio for multimedia into NUGS-CHINA. When you vote accept, it means we are accepting the portfolio. When you vote reject, it means that you are rejecting the suggestion for this portfolio. Please, is it clear?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it's very clear. It's clear.
Yeah, if
It
more of
is.
the ladies can talk, I would have appreciated it much. But thank you, gentlemen, for also responding.
We need a seconder. We need a seconder.
Okay,
Okay, so Malik and Kromar from Chenu chapter.
Allow the lady to second. The voices are.
Yeah.
Okay, I militant
Okay.
as the Google
Yeah,
chapter
we did.
second the motion. Hello, can I be heard?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, you can be here. Thank you, Honorable Millicent. Thank you. Tech team, please, can you help us? Please, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Say I'm in I am a lady's voices and forgive me, yes. Okay. So please remember, if you accept, that means you are accepting the portfolio, but if you reject, that means you are rejecting. Okay. we have the results? Not yet.
Results where they are chill, are they?
Echo coalition said Nyamae.
I'm telling you.
Waland.
Okay, so 81.8%. Hey. Okay, 81.8% of members disagrees or reject this motion. So we can go ahead and vote for the next one. The next motion is I, Samuel Okosudoina, would like to vote on the motion. Please listen to this very well. That, hello.
We're listening.
Honorable Clement, please, you can mute yourself. Yeah, thank you. Okay. I would like to, I, Samuel Okosudoina, move the motion for Congress to vote to either accept or reject if the financial controller's position should, whether the financial controller, should be a person with an accounting background. So I, Samuel Okosudoina, would like to move the motion for Congress to accept or reject if the position of the financial controller should be occupied by a person who has accounting background. So please, let's listen carefully. If you vote accept, it means that you are accepting that the financial controller's position should be occupied by a person with an accounting background. If you vote reject, it means that we are rejecting that the financial controller's position should be a person of an accounting background. Please, is it clear? When you vote accept, it means that, yeah, the position of the financial controller should be. Yeah. So let me repeat it again. If you vote accept, it means that the position of the FC should be occupied by a person with an accounting background. If you vote reject, it means that the position of the FC should be open to everyone. Yeah. So do we accept or reject? Thank you if you are. Yeah, thank you. If you are ready, you can. Thank you, man. We want to also thank you. You guys have done really well. I wish NUGS-CHINA can award you with massage. Each person should have a massage package or a voucher for massage. Please, Honorable Malek, you can bless them with maybe 1,000 kwai each. Sorry, 1,000 kwai to the detective so that they can use for massage. Yeah. I know we have rich men and women here. Mr. Doable will take care of that. Yeah, it is doable. You can do it. Okay, 75% of Congress reject this. So the position of the financial controller remains open to all members. Honorables, let's go straight to Article Article 5 of the, Clause 5 of the article under discussion, Clause 5. It talks about the national officers shall be elected at National Congress. There is a suggestion that we should change let me read it again. The national officers shall be elected at the annual Congress, at the annual Congress. There is a suggestion that we should change the annual Congress to an annual National Congress. Annual National Congress. House, what do you think about that? Annual National Congress rather than annual Congress. Yes, please. Is anyone
Do we have any other Congress?
We don't have any other Congress, but I think the suggestion is these delegates, right, come from to represent the various chapters at the national level, right? So this is like a national program that we are having, okay? So it's not like annual Congress as in annual Congress meets annually, but it should clearly state that this is an annual national depicting the nature of the program. That is, delegates are representing from various chapters, and this is a national program of NUGS-CHINA. So it is depicting the nature of the explanation which we have in our constitution, where various delegates come from various chapters to represent at the national level. And when we mention these delegates, we have senators, we have the national executive also part of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of a description. Congress, the floor is open, but don't enter into it. You can speak. Honorable Irene Koko, we've not heard your voice, oh, our president. Sorry, president-elect.
I'm right here.
Yeah, but we've not heard your voice throughout Congress. The only time we heard your voice was when you were reading your manifesto.
I'm watching every proceeding.
Okay. Honorables, Honorable Juliana Chindu, Honorable Matilda. Let's hear. Or we should vote. Okay, let's vote. Let's vote to reject or accept it. So I, Samuel Opusudonyina, would like to. Okay, there's a suggestion in the chat. I think annual Congress is fine, but if we are to amend this, then I suggest we make it National Congress. National Congress. Okay. Honorables, let's vote. Let's vote. Maybe if we accept it, then we can see how we will restructure it. But if Congress rejects it, that means we don't need something like this at all. I, Samuel Ofosu, would like to move the motion for Congress to either accept or reject that our annual Congress, as mentioned in the Constitution, with relation to the name of our Congress, should be changed to Annual National Congress. So, honorables, if you both accept, that means we are accepting that National Congress should be changed to Annual National Congress. If you vote reject, that means we are rejecting and we are maintaining Annual Congress. Okay. Please, is it clear? Is it clear? Honorable Yisha. I like that. I like that. Good.
Please come again.
Okay, I should come again. The motion is that we are voting to either approve or, to either accept or reject that annual Congress should be changed to Annual National Congress. Okay. So if you vote accept, it means that Annual Congress should be changed to Annual National Congress. If you vote reject, that means we are maintaining it without changing it. Okay.
It's okay.
Okay. Honorable Efia Yisha, please, can you second the motion?
I, Victor Balifua, second the motion.
Thank you for that sweet voice. I like it so much. Thank you, Honorable Crystal. And, 30. And LOC, please let me hear from you regarding the time, okay? So that I will know how I can. I pray today Actually, some of them, we don't really have some at all, so we can move fast on that. Some of them are also just grammatical something. So as we voted yesterday that the NGC should take care of that, we will look into that. The next review is actually grammatical something, so we will skip that and we will go to the ones that needs debate. But if we meet a grammatical error, we just skip that. Honorable Malik says, I think the ladies should keep seconding. They bring a new vibe to the proceedings. Thank you. Okay, 67 of Congress has said that we should change it to annual National Congress. Good. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So we have 67% saying that we should change it. Honorable Nanajua, your hand is up.
Hello, good evening. Please, I would recommend that if Congress has accepted that we should change it, we could either go with annual Congress or National Congress.
Congress has accepted that we should change annual Congress to annual National Congress.
No, I said this after because initially you said we could vote for it and then maybe how we put it later on could be okay. Yes. So maybe I think we could go in for National Congress since we know that it happens annually. That's my suggestion.
Yeah, please add the National Congress is okay. There's no need to add annual to it. So I agree with Nanajua.
Okay. Honorables, let's talk on this. Because okay, I agree with what the honorables have suggested, but I think that even in the original proposition, the annual is there to depict that this is done at a specific time, and the time is every year, which is very significant in defining a program which is kind of annually. For example, if you look at some programs, certain programs which are held by various bodies, mostly when you see the titles on their signpost and anything, you see annual this gathering, annual this gathering, to tell people that this is done annually, right? So I think that the annual is very important in order for people to know that whenever we are electing officers, it is not done just at the National Congress, but the annual Congress or annual National Congress, as has been agreed by Congress. I don't know if we have different suggestions. Honorable Selo.
Well, I think we voted on it and then that is done. Oh,
yes.
We've debated and we voted. So I think we should proceed to the next.
Yeah, I don't know. Congress is actually an annual representation of news. So I am of the opinion annual Congress. Honorables, I agree with your suggestion, but we voted and Congress could have also voted reject so that the annual Congress still holds. The reason why, Honorable Salam, I agree with you, but the reason why I'm kind of still on this is because we don't want to take a decision which maybe, okay, majority said we should change it. So I'm presupposing majority are satisfied. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So honorables, annual Congress, as our board have shown, will be changed to annual national. Annual national Congress. Thank you. We don't have any reviews under the office of the national president, so members are really satisfied with that. But we have a lot of reviews under the office of the national vice president. And let's see what people say. Under the national vice president, Article 17, Clause 2, honorables, I skipped one because it is also a grammatical error. It said the word Congress, which is a small c, should be changed to a capital C. And yesterday we voted when we meet something like that, the NGC will correct that. So we don't have to really debate about this. And we know that Congress here is kind of a proper noun, a representation. So we should go with a capital. So that's why I skipped it, honorables, just for the sake of the records. Thank you. The national vice president, the review suggestion is the vice president position should not be contested for, but should rather be appointed by the president. Because in Article 17, Clause 2A, it states that the vice president position shall separately be contested for as any other national executive position. And the review is seeking for us to amend it that the vice president position shouldn't actually be contested for, but should be appointed by the president. And the reason is that the president and the vice president might have different views. However, they are the heads and must be of one view. That is the reason, honorables, which an honorable member or some honorable members seek for us to amend. So just like we do in Ghana, like presently, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, His Excellency, has His Excellency Honorable Baumia to be the vice president. They went together. So that is the same system that the honorables are suggesting. I don't know if honorables have something to say about this. Then we vote on this, but if we change this, this will be really interesting. Then we also, if Congress changes it, that means we have to think of a criteria so that someone doesn't bring his girlfriend as the vice president. Yeah, because they are of the same mind, right? Yeah. They are of the same mind. We didn't the girlfriend, baby, higher. Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, please.
Please, I want to raise my hand, but I can't. So, if
Mati, let's honorable. Okay, Benny, let us hear from you because you've not heard your voice. I will not say your sweet voice because it's not sweet.
Oh, my voice is sweet. But anyway, the chair of the house. Good evening, honorable congressmen and women. I think I want to say something about the suggestion on the table. If our constitution says that NUGS-CHINA is apolitical, right? Which means we don't practice the way they select these politicians and those kind of things, or we are not affiliated with any political party. Right now, if we say that the president should appoint his vice president, which means they have to, it should be like a political party, so the president will have to choose the people he wants to choose, which means it will be like a competition. Anybody who is becoming a president have to be in his good books for him to choose me as his running mates. On the other hand, when two people are coming to contest, it means they have to form parties, which means we are giving rooms for the political parties we have back home to take over the union. Very soon, it will be NPP, NDC. So if we have a president who is affiliated or secretly affiliated to a political party, he choose somebody who from his party, then you see on the other hand, another political party also form it. So the amendment is trying to ensure that the president and the vice president are they think the same, are on the same path, and they understand each other. Also, we should consider that if we don't take care, the part of the constitution that says we are apolitical will be changed. I think we should go by what we're doing right now. Now we have the power to define the responsibilities of the president and the responsibilities of the vice president in order not for it to be a problem. The NEC, as we have the NEC right now, is a room for deliberation. If we have a president who come to office with his vice president, in a situation where the president is not helping the union, it means the union is going to be in the wrong hands. So I suggest honorable congressmen and women should vote against this. We should have vice president contesting for the position, president contesting for the position. If we have a vice president who was appointed, he's not accountable to NUGS-CHINA members. He's accountable to the president because the president appointed him. And if we are saying the president should appoint his vice president, it means the president can fire his vice president, which means the vice president is accountable to the president, not the whole union. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Vice President, for your comments on the floor of Congress. I think you've made very laudable and good points. Honorable Nancy Beijing, it will concentrate power in very limited circle. Honorable Stephen is also suggesting it should be contested. Let me give a priority to those who raise their hands first. Honorable Selo.
Yeah, thank you. I think we have to look at the word apolitical very carefully. Apolitical doesn't mean that positions shouldn't be competitive. What we are doing, what we did just yesterday, especially between the two, it was competitive. It was competitive. I think the apolitical means that it shouldn't be aligned with any partisan politics, i.e. any political party. But what we do is politics, because you have to bring forth your ideas against somebody's ideas and tell the delegates to vote for you based on your the superiority of your ideas. Now, if I don't think there'll be a problem if you have a vice aligning with the president. But the question I want to ask is, at what point would appointment be made? Is it before election or after the election of the president? That part of it, I want clarity on it whilst we debate on the rest. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think as it stands now, let's debate on whether it should be contested or not. And if Congress votes to accept it, then we think about the criteria to give. Yeah, so in order to ensure sanity and sanctity in our union, okay, so that we don't have conflict of interest. And as Honorable Benny said, people with secret political agenda coming to fulfill their political agenda in our union. Yeah, thank you. Honorable, as I can see on my screen, let me give Honorable Francis Kwesi. I'll take the three, then we vote. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I also want to say that as it stands now, the position of vice is contestable. And I want to believe that it should be so, because there's something we call diversity in leadership, you know. The vice has his idea, and he will come and sell his ideas to Congress for us to vote for him. If he got a position, he will need to sit down with the president that, oh, this is the ideas that I have. This is you that you also have. We bring the two together in unity to move the coalition, to move the union forward. But if you say you want to bring the president, should bring it vice president. Like that you rightly said, vice president. Okay, I'm working for the president. He appointed me. You know, we need something like a leadership is like a journey. We need people along the line to help us to reach where we are going. And making it contestable is where we're going to see diversity, and then their qualities they're going to portray to as far as being in that position is concerned. So as a standard in the constitution, I think we should maintain it that the position of the vice president should be contestable, so that the vice will be able to tell the Congress his vision, his ideas that is going to bring on board as far as being part of the NEC is concerned. Thank you.
Sorry, please, can I be heard?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Thank you. I said I'll give the last person, Honorable Samuel, the chance to talk. Then we'll vote.
All right, thank you, Honorable Chair. I think this is a matter that needs a little bit of digestion. I think the key word is not supposed to be appointing. I think appointing makes the whole statement quite odd, and that will take us into very deep and rough waters. However, I am tempted to think that the reviewer is more or less suggesting that the president that is coming comes with a vice president, just as is contested for back home in Ghana, where we have our SRCs, where we have the president and the vice both coming with a policy and both come with a unified front where students view them and double for the union or the SRC at a particular time. I am tempted to think one who submitted this review. And I am also tempted to think that it could be on the premise of some things that might have happened. There are tendencies in chapters where you have serious conflicts between vice presidents and presidents, sometimes because vice presidents or presidents do not really know where they belong. And as such, sometimes, for instance, for me as a chapter president, let me break this into perspective. There are cases where, because the vice president is assigned a lot of the committee duties, sometimes, if you're not careful, you could have a vice president who thinks too much of himself and sometimes, in quotes, sometimes think that because of the provisions, they are beyond corrections. The president's veto do not override some of his decisions. The president's words do not override some of the works that the committees under him work. So I am tempted to think that way. However, I am still of the opinion that if vice president's duties can clearly be defined in our constitution, then there is no need for a president to come with his vice president for both of them to be voted on. But both, all of them can come as separate entities, so that if you are an unknown person in the union somewhere and you aspire to be a president or a vice president, you can't pick your form by yourself and then contest for whichever position that you would want. That is the submission I want to make.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Samuel. I think that even in our system in Ghana, they are still appointed, because it's only the president, the flag bearer, that they vote for. Then after that, the flag bearer will determine who should be his or a running mate. And also, even if the vice president is being appointed, the roles under the vice president section of him being the chairman of the subcommittee still holds. So sometimes I think it has to do with, as we mentioned earlier, the individual's understanding and their cooperation. But let's see what Congress will decide. If we want to maintain our old system, or we want vice president to be appointed. Personally, I don't think this will be a great decision for us, but Congress is the highest decision body. Okay, Congress, let's vote on this, okay? Okay. Okay, let's vote on this. So the review is seeking for Congress to amend the Constitution in relation to Article 17, Clause 2A, that the Vice President shall separately be contested for as any national executive position, or as any other national executive position. Now, this is the amendment is seeking that but the amendment is seeking that we should, it shouldn't be contested. Now, honorables, this is the motion. I, Samuel of Osudonyina, would like to move the motion that, please listen to it well, because I'm moving the motion according to the review, that I, Samuel of Osudonyina, would like to move the motion that the vice president position should not be contested for, but should rather be appointed by the president. So I'm speaking like the proposer. Please, let's listen to it again. I, Samuel Ofosudonyina, would like to move the motion that the vice president's position should not be contested for, but rather be appointed by the president. So when you accept the motion, it means that the vice president's position should not be contested for, but should be appointed by the president. If you reject the motion, it means we are maintaining our old system. Please, Congress, is it clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. So if you vote accept, it means that the vice president position should not be contested for, but should rather be appointed. If you vote reject, it means we are rejecting the motion and accepting our old system. Thank you. Honorable Tech Team, if you are ready, you can. Yeah. Sorry, Honorable Tech Team, please, let's stop the voting. Please, let's stop the voting. First of all, I'm sorry to this. We didn't seek for a seconder. Any seconder to this motion?
Honorable Sam, I thought somebody said he has a counter motion.
Yes, but we should have a seconder, then we listen to a counter motion, then we know what to do.
Okay.
Yes. Any seconder to this motion? Sorry for that, Honorable.
Hello.
Okay, yes, please.
I'm John Nelson Ekuma from Jinjan. I support the motion that I second the motion that we either agree or disagree to the review that had been made.
Okay. I think it's clear. Thank you, Honorable Johnson. Honorable Samuel Wuhan, you said you have a counter motion. Please, can we hear from you?
Yes, thank you, Chair. My counter motion is that I wish to move for the motion that we vote on whether the position should be separately contested or the position of president and the vice should come as a team. That is the motion, and be voted on as a team. That is the motion I seek to put across instead of appointments.
Thank you, Honorable. I respect your counter motion, but that is not before Congress. The counter motion you are bringing is not before Congress. So your counter motion should be in line with the motion that has been proposed, in line with the review, because what you are seeking to achieve is totally different from the review that is before Congress. Thank you. The motion has been moved and has been seconded. So let me repeat it again. When we vote accept, it means that we are accepting that the vice president's position should not be contested for, but should rather be appointed by the president. If you vote reject, it means that we are rejecting this motion and accepting our old system. Please, Congress, once again, sorry to ask again, but is it clear?
Yes, it is clear.
Thank you, Honorables. Tech team, please, sorry for what happened. If you can help us again. Thank you, Tech team. Okay, 47 of Congress accepted, but 53 rejected. So we are maintaining our old system. And so Article 17, Clause 2A still holds that the vice president position shall separately be contested for as any other national executive position. Thank you, Congress. Let's move to the B. The vice president shall assist the president in the execution of his or her activities. And honorables, the review before the House is, please, I read the article again. The vice president shall assist the president in the execution of his or her activities. Review. In reference to this article, it was noted that the vice president doesn't have any clearly defined constitutional roles. Hence, it was suggested that during an election, presidential candidates should present a running mate, that is a vice presidential candidate, so that they will come up with combined policies to be implemented. In this way, it will be the practice. I think we've already looked into this.
Yes, I think yesterday or the day before yesterday, we looked into this.
No, even right now, because it's talking about presidential candidates should present a running mate. And let me read for it further.
Honorable Sam, I think you should finish reading because they are requesting we outline the functions of the vice president clearly.
Okay, sorry. So in reference to this article, it was noted that the vice president doesn't have any clearly defined constitutional rules. Hence, it was suggested that during an election, a presidential candidate should present a running mate, that is a vice president, that is vice presidential candidate, so that they will come up with combined policies to be implemented. In this way, it will obviate the practice where both positions are contested for. For many members, the current practice usually results in conflict in execution of policies by the president and the vice president, since each of them was voted into office based on different policies they promised to implement. Furthermore, most members wanted the function E of the vice president to be clearly stated, so that the notion that the vice president chairs all subcommittees established by the NEC will be demystified. Okay, the first part of this suggestion has been voted out. So I don't think we have to debate on this. We can't run that system according to Congress here, but I think maybe we can look at the last part. He talks about, furthermore, most members suggested that function E of the vice president to be clearly stated, so that the notion that the vice president chairs all subcommittees established by the NEC will be demystified. Let's go to E. What does E say? The vice president shall chair all subcommittees established by the NEC. Going with the first suggestion, Congress, isn't it clearly stated? I don't know what the Honorable seeks to achieve, but I think it's clear. If the vice president shall chair all subcommittees established by the NEC, I think it's clear. To the best of my understanding, I think this is clear. Then we look at the second suggestion with relation to the National Judicial Committee. Honorable Benny, you have the experience in this. Honorable Benny.
Yes, sir.
Isn't this clear enough, or?
I don't know what the honorable member is trying to change here, but I think the rules of the vice president is clearly stated here. And also, NJC is not formed by the NEC, as the honorable member is saying here. NJC is formed by Senate, and it's not an ad hoc committee. It's a standing committee. So the vice president do not chair NJC because NJC is a standing committee. And the constitution is saying that the vice president shall chair all ad hoc committees, which means those committees do not exist. But in a situation where the NEC feels like we need these committees to help us, then those committees become the responsibility of the vice president. NJC is not an ad hoc committee. And I think even responsibilities of the vice president is clearly stated in this constitution.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because, thank you. Something like the technical side and all that, I think was established, to the best of my knowledge, I think last year it started, right? Because we had a technical something. Okay, let's hear from Honorable. Oh, some honorables. Okay, Honorable Samuel, you can go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Chair. What I want to say is that the first review suggestion was in respect of elected or unappointed position, as has decided. However, I think that this review suggestion, the first part of it, is talking about the president and the vice coming as a team and being voted on. That is different from the vice position being appointed. That is what I want to put across. So it will not be fair or okay to put this first part under the initial one that we have voted on, which talks about either an appointment or an election. It both cannot be put under the same umbrella. And the second part of it, I think that the duties assigned to the vice president is clear. It's clear. There is no ambiguity. If you look at the first one, that talks about assisting the president in the execution of his duties, talks about when the president is not around, what the vice president is supposed to do, is the next in charge for every administrative purposes. I think these are clear, but I would prefer that we go back to visit the first part of the review suggestion. And we cannot add that to the one that has been initially decided, because the initial one is about whether the position should be elected or appointed. But this suggestion is talking about they coming as a team and being vetted as a team, and then they being voted on as a team. I think these are two different things. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable.
Please, can I come in again? I can't put up my hands.
I understand. I'll let you come in. Let me rule on what the Honorable mentioned first, then you come in, okay? Honorable Samuel, let's go through the lines again. I don't know whether other honorables can see what I'm seeing. In the sentence 2, hence, it was suggested that during an election, the presidential candidate should present a running mate so that they come out with combined policies to be implemented. Now, a presidential candidate should present a running mate. As it stands now, is not consistent with Article 17, Clause 2, which has been already agreed by Congress. So debating on this is even not consistent with what is before us, because the president cannot present a running mate, because in Article 17, Clause 2, Article 17, Clause 2, it says the vice president shall separately be contested. So the two are not, well, the suggestion you're bringing on board is not consistent with that Article 17, Clause 2A. Thank you. Honorable Benny, please, you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. I think I was going to say exactly what you said. By adding to what you said, okay. Every NEC, okay, let me say our NEC, when we took office, everybody will present their ideas. Then the NEC will vote on what we are going to add to our annual plan. So whether the vice president has a different ideas, the president has a different ideas, in our first NEC meeting or second NEC meeting, we merge everything and weigh it. Which one can we achieve? Which one is too complex or like something that we can't achieve? Then after everything, the NEC will decide our action plan for the year. So I don't think it's too much of a problem a vice president coming to office with a different idea and the president coming to office with a different idea. We should maintain the system that we have. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I think we will not go back to this debate again, because we've already talked about this in different ways and we voted. So please, honorables, let's focus on the whether the Article 17.2E is not clear enough, so that, yeah, Honorable Benchendu.
The chair, I have a question to ask. I want to know whether provisions has been made to cater for the situation whereby there's no candidate for any of the positions.
Any of the position, as in when nobody stands for any. Okay, that's a good question. I think that can be found under the case of. Please let me refer. Okay, yeah, you can refer to Article 17, Clause 4 of the Constitution. Article 25, Clause 4. The chairperson of the Judicial Committee shall act as the national president in the case of an en bloc resignation of the NEC, okay, until such time, no, it doesn't answer this question. It doesn't answer. This is in case of an en bloc resignation of the NEC. But I stand to be corrected if it's the same as this. Let me search for this. Please, 1 minute to answer that question. But honorables, if we have any other view concerning the question, because that is what came into my mind. En bloc. Yeah, that is if there is that is the whole of NEC kind of en bloc resignation means together, right? Honorables. I think everyone or the whole NEC or something. Yeah. If there is a resignation by the NEC, then the chairperson of the judicial committee shall be the acting president. That is what I know. I don't know whether it also refers to if we don't have any executive member standing. I'm not sure. I have to refer from my seniors to answer this question, but that according to the limited understanding I have, that is how. That is if you have an en bloc resignation of the NEC, the judicial committee chairman is the acting president of the union. Maybe, what can we do? Honorable Derek, are you here? My chair. Honorable Derek and JC. Okay, Honorable Derek is not here. Honorable, I have to do a broader consultation to answer this question. But that's a very good question you've mentioned. But Honorables, if you see anything in the Constitution to this respect, you can also let the House know. Honorable Collins, in case we don't have any NEC member, what do we do? According to the Constitution, I don't know, but that's what I know for now. Okay, Honorable, so we will have a brother. Honorable Wuhan, are you answering the question or you have a different motion? Samuel Wuhan, sorry. Honorable Samuel.
It has nothing to do with the motion. It has everything to do with the question that was asked. I thought you wanted us to comment on it, or it's the motion.
Yeah. You can equally comment, no problem.
So as things stand now, the Constitution does not make provision for such a situation, such an occurrence. A lot of chapters this particular academic year have been faced with such a challenge where there are positions that were not contested for. No one came up for them, but they had to be filled. And some chapters have provided some leeway, if I may call it, more like if I should call it a path where this particular situation can be rectified. For instance, yes. So for instance, in Jam, for instance, I am quite aware that for last year, their indefatigable secretary was not did not arrive at the position through the polls, but it was based on a broader consultation, and then an agreement was made to occupy that role, which he performed very well. Similar parts were taken by Wuhan even for this particular election. So I think that the event that, for instance, you have a position like the secretary or the vice presidential position not occupied. If Congress is open for suggestion, then I could suggest that a recommendation can be put forward whereby a voting process can be initiated at Senate for the said individuals the necessary
Hello,
procedures
Honorable.
and accepted. And then later on presented.
Okay.
Connection
Oh,
isn't
please.
good. I find it difficult to hear.
Yeah, Honorable Samuel, your connection is not good. So some of the points you are making, yeah, me too, not only you, Honorable.
Oh,
yeah, let's actually,
can I be
Honorable,
heard now? Can I be heard now? Areas you have network new.
Honorables, let's discuss this later, okay? Let's discuss this later, actually, because we have still reviews before us. We can discuss this later. And let's discuss this later. Thank you. Honorables, we have a review before us which talks about Vice President's role not clearly defined. I think it's clearly defined, and the Honorable Vice President also made us to know that according to the Article 17, Clause 2E, it's very clear that he shall be the committees of the subcommittee the chairperson of the subcommittees. So I don't know. Okay, let's take a vote on this. Let's take a vote on this before, but for the inconsistency with the National Judiciary Committee, we can't even vote on it because it is the wrong, let me say, it is an incorrect position made by the honorable member. The NJC is not an ad hoc committee. It is not formed by the NEC. It is formed differently, and it's a standing committee of the union, not formed by the NEC. Now let's vote on the Article Clause 2E, whether we should clearly define it or we should let it be like that, because we think it's very clear now. I, Samuel Ofusudin, now would like to move the motion for us to vote on Article Clause 2E, whether the Vice President's role, the Vice President shall chair all subcommittees established by NEC, should be clearly defined, or it should be as it has been already stated. If you accept the motion, it means that Congress should define these rules, or this rule, sorry. And if you
Point
reject
of
the motion,
correction, Honorable Sam, I think it's Article Clause 2B, not 2E.
no, Honorable, the person made reference to E. Please look at it well. Furthermore, most members wanted the function into bracket E.
Okay.
Thank you. So I continue. If you vote accept, it means that we should define Article 17, Clause 2E. If you vote reject, it means that you want us to maintain it and let it be as it is. Please, Honorables, is it clear? Is it clear, please?
Yeah, it's clear.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorables. Any seconder to this motion, and we move on to the next reviews.
I, Honorable Clement, anyway, on the 19th chapter 3 hereby second to the above read motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Clement. Please, if you're ready, you display the polls and we take our vote. Thank you. So remember, if you accept it, it means that we should clearly define the rules, Article Clause 2. If you reject it, that means you want it to be as it is right now. Please. Thank you. Congress has rejected it 83% and 17% accepted. So Congress by majority has rejected this review. Honorables, we will not look at the NJC one because it doesn't, its fundamentals are not strong, or it has some wrong things in it. But let's consider the next one. It talks about NEC should appoint a member among themselves to chair all or some of the subcommittees instead of making it compulsory for the vice president. And the reason is that due to the establishment of several committees, the vice president become burdened with a lot of duties, hence unable to manage the committees well. Okay, I'll let Congress debate on this, and I'll give my view also on that. Honorable Francisca, you have the floor.
Please, I want Honorable Clement to scroll up. I can't see the article.
Good.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's okay now. So next should appoint a member among themselves to chair all or some of the subcommittees instead of making it compulsory for the vice president, because sometimes they become so much burdened with a lot of duties, hence unable to manage the situation or the committees well. Honorable Thompson, you can go ahead.
Thank you very much, Honorable Sam. I believe you've already voted on the matter that that we just did. Hence, if somebody has to chair the committee, I believe it shouldn't be constitutional. But the NEC, even if the vice president is chairing, he can bring it to his team. Hey, so we want to appoint somebody to do this. Since it's his duty, it doesn't mean that he will be the one to chair everything. They can equally appoint someone. So, but I don't think it should be something constitutional, because we've already voted to reject that motion of what we just did.
I agree with you.
Honorable, some point of correction. I don't think the votes we did was to reject what Honorable Thompson, because
we rejected the E and the clause. What does the clause E says? That the vice president.
The rejection was the seeking for clarification that that clause E, the vice president shall chair all committees, should be clarified. That's what we rejected. That is clear. There's no need for further clarification in the Constitution. That's what we rejected, but not this particular review suggestion.
Actually, it's true, but I think one of the significant submissions of the Honorable Thompson, which he actually mentioned, is about the, yes, it's the chair, but various committees also have their chair, but the vice president presides, right? Kind of a delegation of duty to help him ease his work. So I think that was one significant factor that stood out in his submission. But what we really, thank you, Honorable Thompson. What really we voted on was to clearly define the rules, which we rejected because it's clear. Let me refer to Honorable Benny. Honorable Benny, Vice President.
Sir. Yes, sir.
I like consultation based on practice. What has been the practice of the subcommittees?
Thank you very much. We are saying for break. We are saying I mean breaking. But the moment break. Sorry. If you check the committees we have right now, let me refer you to the academic committee. The academic committee was chaired. I think our report has been accepted. So was chaired by Honorable Gloria Akpabla. The scholarship committee was chaired by Honorable Felix, the former president, Honorable Felix. And the project committee was also chaired by Honorable Nana Bema Kateche. That's the former vice president. So, although the constitution is saying that the vice president shall chair all ad hoc committees, but mostly when the NEC meets, out of consultation or advice or other things, you delegate most of your powers to people that you believe they have the expertise. For instance, with the academic committee, I was advised by my predecessor that it would be better if you give that committee to somebody you believe is dedicated to the union and is willing to serve. So the constitution, to make my submission short, the constitution says that the vice shall chair all ad hoc committees. But yes, so mostly we delegate, because even if the honorable member who said we should state it clearly that we should delegate some of the power to some NEC members, there is no national executive position that is free. If I say free, means the person is not busy, or the person is not loaded with tasks. Aside the responsibility even stated in the constitution, when we have our plan, sometimes the NEC assign some responsibilities to you. So every NEC member is busy. Let me put it that way. That's why we delegate the powers to some of the members whom we think are up and doing and can do the job. So I think this constitution do not need any amendments. This clause do not need any amendments. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Benny. Okay. So,
Yes, sir.
Honorables, we all heard from the Honorable's mouth. Honorable Benny, thank you. Concerning practice, let's vote. Let's vote on this and move forward. Let's vote. Honorables, we are voting if we should appoint or how do we say it? We should spread some of this responsibility of chairing the subcommittees among the various committees, or the various officers, or we want it to remain as it is. So I, Samuel Ofosudo, now would like to move for us to vote on this amendment, either to accept it or to reject it. Now, when you accept it, it means that you are accepting to the proposal that has been made, that NEC should appoint a member among themselves to chair all or some of the subcommittees, instead of making it compulsory for the vice president. If you vote accept, it means you are accepting it. If you vote reject, it means that we are rejecting this review and we are accepting the old system. Please, is it clear? Is it clear, please, Honorables? I know we are tired, but please, move make a krawatin.
It's clear. It's clear.
Thank you. Any seconder to this motion, then we move ahead. I think we can move speed, like with speed now. Any seconder?
Nas, and we second.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Tech team, if you are ready, you let us know. Remember, you are accepting the motion, you are accepting the review, or you are rejecting it, please. This is strictly to the review. LOC, please, with respect to the former request I made concerning the time, if you can let me know.
Honorable Sub, a message was sent to your kind of saying. I did with friend saying your no, I never chat your Zoom private chat long ago,
Then
private.
I didn't see. I'm
So
sorry.
I think I'll have to just resend it again. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, 32% and 68%. 32 refers to yes, and 68% refers to no. That means Congress has rejected this review. So it stands that the Vice President will be in charge of all the subcommittees, and it is his sole responsibility. The next review is in clause H. The clause capital should be a capital. It should be a capital C. Let's refer to notwithstanding Article 17, clause G supra. He shall not receive any payment in relation to the renewal of student passport. Where is the C? The clause should be capital C in clause. No, Honorable H. Yeah, H. In clause H. Notwithstanding Article 17, clause G supra, he shall not receive any payment in relation to renewal of student passport. Where is the capital C? He said the clause should be capital C in clause.
He's referring to clause 2G.
Clause 2G.
So clause 2, the clause spelling of clause over there, the C should be capital C.
Still I get it. Yeah, I get it. Clause 2, I think is H. Yeah, notwithstanding Article 17 clause. Yeah. He said that, oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So the clause should be a capital C. Yeah, okay. I think this is just a grammatical. Let's move forward. Let's move forward to Article 17, 3F. That is where the problem is. It was talking about Secretary General, but I think there was a typographical error there. In discharging his or her duties, the General Secretary shall make half annual reports about the functioning of the chapters to the President. Chapters is here. Let's see. But it's the function of the Secretary General, so I think it shouldn't be General Secretary. It should be Secretary General. I think so.
Yeah, I also think so.
Yeah. I don't think we have to vote on this. This is kind of typographical error or something. It can easily be. Yeah. Honorable, let's move forward.
Brother, what brother machine ayira na na sede.
Nana. Okay, let's move to national organizer. We don't have any reviews at the financial controller.
Clement, I can't see. Okay, you are not moving.
Let's move to national organizer.
Oh, I think there's a review suggestion at okay, that's it.
Yeah. Let's go to Article 5, Article 17.5, which talks about the national organizer. Clause Article 17.5C. Be responsible for planning, arrangement, and preparation of all unions meeting premises. And the review is there is the error in wording of the all.
Honorable Further Sam, NJC, if I may help you. Error in wording for the all should be of all the. What is here?
Yeah. It's true. So I think this is also grammar. Be responsible for planning, arrangement, and preparation of all the unions. Yeah, it's true. I think this is also grammar. Let's go to Women's Commission, Article clause 6A. There shall be a Women's Commission. And I think even the union, the apostrophe should be only one rather than two, right? It should be only one, but they have two.
But in the clause C of under the
yeah, the 5C.
And even clause D.
Yes, exactly. All the unions, you know. Unions
Yes, I think all the unions is
all the
training
unions over there. All clause
Yeah.
F so the same thing. Clause F so the same thing. Sure.
I'm going to type it or copy and paste now. But it's okay. Okay. Maybe he made a mistake and did a find and replace. Replacing is not error. Okay, let's see. The Women's Commission. There shall be a Women's Commission. So the woman also has two apostrophe. There shall be a Women's Commission headed by the Women's Commissioner who shall. Okay, the point should not include reason. It is already stated in Article 16, Clause 1F, that officers of the Union should include the Women's Commissioner portfolio. But, hey.
Honorable
it is
Sam,
here.
if I can come in, I think the one who suggested for this is saying, when you go to Article 16, it states the portfolios in the organization, the president, vice secretary, FC organizer, and women's commissioner. And with this clause, it says there shall be a women's commissioner. So it's kind of, there's a repetition. So I think that's what the person is saying. But we can check from the other portfolios. Let's scroll up to Secretary General. If it's stated there that there shall be a Secretary General.
I'm coming. I think there's a reason for that. Let's see this. Let's listen to it clearly and consider it carefully. Please, can you go back to the Women's Commissioner again? Now, what I would suggest, actually, the actual review, sorry, the first review is that the A should rather be a preamble, not like A. Okay, it should be a preamble, not like it should be stated A. So it should be a preamble, and rather the B should be A, the C in that order. But let's listen to it. There shall be a women's commission headed by a women's commissioner. So you see, like what we have as a women's commission, and we know a commission has a lot of things under it, but the women's commissioner is the head of the women's commission in that way. So I think it's quite different from the president as an officer, the vice president as an officer, the organizer as an officer, and also the secretary general as the officer. But this is telling us that the women the women commissioner is the head of a commission, which is the women's commission. And okay, and that is kind of telling us something extra with that. So I think that A is rather a preamble rather than a standing clause on its own. Okay, Honorable, I saw Honorable Thompson first. Honorable Thompson, I don't know if it is an old hand or a new hand.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Honorable Sam. Well, I stand to be correct. I don't know about the neck. Maybe the Women's Commissioner as at now would explain better. But when you come to the chapter level, the Women's Commissioner has a women commission, or like the WUCOM, where it is being chaired by the WUCOM that we have. But I don't know if the national also have that sort of women's commission. Then if they have, which the constitution is stating, then that commission should be chaired by the WUCOM, which I think is okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I agree with you, but yeah, I agree with you. But the chair here is what has been worded as headed by the women's commissioner, and yeah, and that Honorable Francisca, do you have something to say? I don't know, but I would like to hear from the WUCOM on this per her practice. Okay, Honorable Francisca.
Now, with the A, how honorable some you explained the point. It means that there should be a women's commission. So, is the women's commission in the constitution that we have their functions, like we have the electoral commission and we have their functions, but well, maybe I don't know the constitution well, but I don't see the women's commission in the constitution where they have roles to play as the electoral commission. So if it's not there, then I think something is missing in the constitution, which we need to look at.
Give me 1 minute to seek for something.
Honorable Sam, may I come?
Yeah, I'll let you come. Let's hear from Honorable WUCOM first.
All right, thank you for the opportunity. The commission stated in the Constitution, I, for instance, understand it in this way, that the commission is a whole institution on its own. Looking at the work the work that have been done so far, and the commission constitutes various commissioners from all the chapters that made up NUGS-CHINA, and so who to manage these group of people is a commissioner. Okay, and how to put it? I think whatever has been put in the constitution is in the right direction. Okay. So there should be a commission, a women's commission, which should be headed by a commissioner. Okay.
Okay. Honorable Thompson.
Yeah. So like our Honorable WUCOM just said, I mean, I don't know for other chapters, but Shanghai, we have Women's Commission that is being headed by the Women's Commissioner. So if I understand what our Honorable Women's Commissioner just said, then when it comes to the national level, that commission includes all the Women's Commission in each chapter, right? So I think even the Constitution is not, this clause is not something new. It is saying that there should be. So it's not like it is not part of the Constitution. This is in the Constitution. And the Constitution is saying that there should be. So we don't need to go and check anywhere to see whether there's that statement there or not. The Constitution is telling us that there should be.
Okay.
Unless it has some contradiction with any other clause. If not, this is what the Constitution is saying.
Okay. Actually, the reason the Constitution stated there should be we can say there should be the president who shall be, but let's look at how the sentence is constructed. Anytime that the Constitution gives a preamble that there should be, that means there is something which will follow it, or there is something peculiar about it. This, for example, like there should be a women's commission headed by, this is the peculiarity of this clause. Yeah, so let's consider that in that. That's why I was suggesting that the A is actually a preamble. It is not actually a standing clause on its own. It is rather a preamble because there should be a commissioner who shall, then we have the rules under it. Okay, Honorable Francisca, but okay, let's hear from Honorable Nketia. Then I'll give my suggestion on this for Congress. Honorable Nketia, NJC.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, please, if I understand what the secretary was saying, what it means that looking at the Constitution, it gives the offices, and the offices, it mentioned the Women's Commissioner, but in the definition of the responsibilities, it made it Women Commission. And from there, it continued to give the preamble that you are talking about. So, like, it wasn't stated about the Women Commission in the Constitution, but rather Women's Commissioner. But when it came to the definition of the responsibilities, it came to define the Women Commission. So, what I think is that if we can make the Women Commission a subset rather than a subset of the Women Commission.
Yeah, the Women's Commission is there, but the roles that we see, okay, the roles that we see, when I read this carefully, it's like there shall be a Women's Commission headed by the Women's Commissioner who shall.
Yeah.
So it's referring to the
Women's
Commissioner. Yeah.
Yeah, but the heading makes it like the Women's Commissioner is a subset of the Women's Commission.
Yeah, I understand your views. Okay, honorables, to settle this, okay, I would suggest that we leave this, and tomorrow we will have a broader consultation on this article, this clause especially, and we revert back to the House tomorrow, so that tomorrow we will come up with explanations which maybe will help the House. Yeah, I would suggest we leave this to tomorrow, so that as we normally do, sometimes when we go back and do our consultations, we come up with explanations which will help the House. Honorables, thank you. Let's move to the next ones. And good. Let's move to the next ones, then tomorrow we come back to this. Honorable Clement, if you are there, let's move to the ones. He said the next review says she to be added to all his in the clause 17. Clause 17.
Article 17, not clause 17.
Sorry, no. Article 17. She should be added to all his, but of course, except the Women's Commission. Okay, I think this is also true. So I think this is also part of the grammatical something. So the NJC will work on that further. But now let's go to Article 18. Okay, today we want to, we are making headway, Congress.
We have to finish today.
Yeah, but if we finish today, okay, Mama, come on, now.
Yes.
Honorables, please stop leaving. Stop leaving now. Yeah, bro. Okay, provincial coordinator in clause 3, he said he or she shall be elected from among the past executives at a Senate meeting. And this Senate meeting is referring to the provincial Senate, right? Clause 3, local executive instead of local executives. Huh? Okay, so it's seeking for us to make it a capital L and a capital E. Okay,
Please,
this is.
sorry for the interruption. Honorable Clement, can you scroll up? Because I can't see.
It's true. It's true.
Can I go and come back?
Clement,
I think was sending me. He sent a private message. I said he's going for food and will come back very quick.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, our 5 minutes break would have helped because I'm getting dehydrated.
Okay.
You can take 1 minute and take some water.
I think, honorables, please, let's allow ourselves 1 minute to sip some water and come back, okay?
Enjoy.
Yeah, please don't leave, don't leave. Just 1 minute, please, 1 minute, I'll be right back.
DJ, play something. DJ, boy,
Okay, honorables, thank you. Thank you, I'm back. Honorable Clement, are you back? Okay, still not back. Okay, let's go through some of them. Please, honorables, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, one of the reviews suggests this kind of just grammar we will go through. The provincial coordinator rather report to Senate and not to NEC, as stated in the clause. Okay. In the functions of the provincial coordinator in clause 18, clause 6, he said he or she shall supervise the activities of the local chapter in the province and report accordingly to the NEC. And the review suggestion is that the provincial coordinator rather report to Senate and not to NEC, as stated in the clause. So I think it's in order, right? Provincial coordinators report to Senate rather than to NEC. Am I right? Yeah. Honorable Clement. Is any of the LOC closer to Honorable Clement? Let me see if I can get in contact.
No, we are not closer. We are not closer to.
Okay. There is an option to close the share and another person can share. Honorable Francisca, are you ready to share your screen?
If only I can be
co-host, right?
Can make me co-host, yeah.
Okay, so tech team, please, you can cancel the share and make Honorable Francisca co-host so that she can share her screen, because that will help Congress to make their decision. So you can disable this screen and okay. Honorable Francisca, you are a co-host now. So what you can do is to stop this the share of Honorable Clement. Oh, and Honorable Benny, if you can cancel the share of Honorable Clement so that Honorable Francisca can share.
Yeah, unless that one is cancelled. Please, can you see my screen now?
Yes, please, we can see.
Okay. Okay. Please, is it okay?
Yes, please, it's okay. So thank you, Honorable Francisca. So the review is suggesting that the provincial coordinator rather reports to Senate and not to the NEC. I think it's true. Provincial coordinator. I think, yes, provincial coordinators report to Senate. They don't report to NEC. Am I right? I think there's a clause like that. Please, House.
Honorable Chair, my hand is up.
Yes, please. Sorry, yeah, you can talk. Sorry.
Okay, I think the PCs play a dual role. They report both to Senate, and in practice, PCs play dual role, reporting to both NEC and Senate, because they liaise between, they carry out some of the activities that NEC has in place. They carry it down to the various chapters and ensure the implementation of those programs. They give feedback to NEC as to the progress of those activities going on. And so they play a dual role, reporting to both NEC and Senate.
Okay. Yeah, because when I went through the provincial Senate too, I saw that that Senate is responsible to NEC, the National Executive Committee, which kind of, according to Article 19, Clause 3B, it states that responsible shall be accountable to the National Executive Committee, and the provincial coordinator is the chair, right? It is the chairperson for the provincial Senate. So when I read that and came back to this, I think what you're saying is equally right. But let's hear from other members. Do we have any hands raised again, apart from Honorable Company? Okay, let's vote. Honorables, can we go ahead and vote? Because does the consensus means we need further elaborations on this? Sorry, the silence, does it mean we need further elaboration? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, does it mean we need further elaboration or okay, the decision can be counted into the vote. Okay, so do we seek to amend it that provincial coordinators should rather report to Senate or to NEC? So I move the motion for us to vote for or against the motion. When you vote for the motion, it means that provincial coordinators, LOC, there's a question in the chat box. LOC Chair, you can respond to it and we continue. LOC Chair Bendish.
Yeah, Patrick, what's he saying?
Maybe 30 minutes more to close.
Okay. How NJC, Sam, how many articles or clauses are left to be reviewed?
We are now on Article 17. Sorry, Article 18, and we have. Let me go down. We have 42. 18 minus 42 is what?
Okay, so the LOC, we have some recommendations we would like to make to Congress, because we have been sitting behind our laptops for 1 week now, and we are very tired. So we want to make some recommendations, because today from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock, we are waiting to form quorum, and the LOC, we couldn't move because we have to be by our laptops to bring, like, to accept people, like those who are joining in and everything. So we want to make some recommendations to Congress, because looking at the progress, we think that we will not be able to finish either today or tomorrow, because we are at Article 8 and we have 42. So we have two proposals. The first one is that we've realized that most delegates are not attending the meetings, because even from yesterday's elections, we realized that out of the 130 something delegates that we have, only 85 of the delegates voted yes. And then also from our checks, we have realized that at most we have like 60 to 69, 70 to 70 delegates attending most of the meetings since we started Tuesday. So we are recommending that Congress will reduce the quorum formation. They shouldn't, based on the number of delegates that registered for Congress this year for the quorum formation. Rather, they should, based on the number of active participants, yes, to form the quorum, so that we will be able to form the quorum as soon as possible. Or we recommend that Congress should give this duty to the old and then the new NJC to work on it, and then whatever they will come up with will be the final constitution. So this is from the LOC, so that we'll be able to finish with this tomorrow. We'll be able to finish with Congress tomorrow, because Some of us have other things to attend to, and because of this, we have to stay behind our laptops, waiting for quorum to be formed and all that. And we are very tired at the moment. So we have two recommendations. That first, we reduce the the quorum formation should be based on the number of active participants since day one. And then secondly, we can give this to the old and then the new NJC to work on it. Yes. So we propose that to Congress in order for us to finish tomorrow. Because from my team, if you don't finish tomorrow and we move on to Wednesday, I don't think we'll all be available to because we are really tired. We are really tired. Yeah. So Congress should consider this recommendation from the LOC. Thank you. Hello, hey, that's what we are doing.
So what do you want
Honorable
us to
Sam,
know?
Honorable Sam, you have you are still the chair, so you can go on with the submission.
Okay, no, this is from the LOC, so I'm talking as a normal Congress member. Honorable, for the second suggestion, I'll start from the second one. The review of the Constitution, according to our Constitution, cannot be done by any independent body except Congress. The NJC, both incoming and outgoing, are equally students who don't have time as every other person. As I talk to you here, I'm working on, I have to work on my experimentation in order for me to graduate next year as a PhD candidate. And let me be frank with Congress. Ever since we started this constitutional review, I've not been able to read even one article because I have to go through everything and make broader consultations with my team and everything before I come here. I have to prepare adequately, and I've not done anything. So if we say that we are still giving this to the outgoing and the incoming NJC, that means that we are giving them a burden, a real burden, because we are equally students. So number one is against our constitution. Number two, in practice, it will not help any of the members because we also are equally busy. Then concerning the quorum, honorables, I like the submission you gave. You've realized that some members even have not joined since day one of Congress. Let's delete them from the group and not recognize them as delegates. I think the Congress can take this decision to reduce the number. If you are reducing the number to the active students or to the active delegates, that means that we shouldn't recognize them as delegates at all, so that we know that these are the members of Congress. So I like it that you said you've taken notice of them. If you know their names, for me, if I were in your shoes, we will just publish those names, that these names since day one of Congress hasn't joined Congress. And I think congressmen will agree that we should take them off the page, write letters to the various chapters that they were not committed to the assignments given them. And it will set precedence for, oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, let us proceed, please.
Yeah. So it will set precedence for other Congress, because this shouldn't be done anywhere where you write your name to be a delegate and you never show up. Thank you.
So
with that being said,
Honorable Sam.
Yes, please.
I think you are the chair now, like you are chairing now. So with this submission, maybe you can lead us to decide on it, because if Congress must decide whether we should go by 8, and then we will publish that we have the names of the active participants since day one. We have all the names. Unfortunately we do not have the names of those who have not been participating, so we can publish it, and then later we will delete those who are not actively who have not been participating in Congress from the page. But it's our request that we reduce the quorum formation, because it takes time, because only today, from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., we're waiting to form quorum, and even the DJ was tired of playing songs. So please, let's try to understand the LOC too. And then the tech team, the tech team too, they have to be by their computers all this while. And it's really we are really tired. Yeah, we are really tired. So we want Congress to finish as soon as possible, so that we can go on to our normal duties and our normal lives. Yeah.
Okay, Honorable Vendish, I think Honorable Collins is the presiding member for Congress. This is a general Congress decision. So I think he has to preside over this for Congress to decide, not the NJC, because the review is just a subsection of this, so that Congress can decide on this. But what I gave you was a suggestion, because if you are reducing quorum, that means we are reducing the number. And how can we reduce the number? Delete those who are not active. It's reasonable for us to do this, because if from day one so this is just active members minus inactive members, then we go our way, because this is total cheating. Tomorrow he'll go and stand somewhere and use it to be an MP somewhere that he was a delegate of NUGS-CHINA something who never showed up in Congress. Yeah.
Okay, so
Honorable
Mr. President, please, I think you should take over, and then Congress can decide. Then we'll reschedule for tomorrow, because I believe that if we reduce the number and use the active participants, we will be able to form quorum tomorrow as soon as possible, for us to have enough time to finish with whatever review that we have, so that we can hand over and then end Congress tomorrow. But if not, I don't think we'll be able to do so tomorrow. We will need extra 1 month. Honorable Collins, Mr. President. Yeah,
I should think if the president is not around, equally
the
SG can take over.
Yeah. SG, please.
Okay. I think the house can decide.
Yeah, but we need to preside to be the chair for the day, so that chair for the moment, so that we take the vote on it.
So I think, as suggested by Honorable Sam, with the second option, we can't accept, because the constitution is supposed to be amended by the entire Congress and not a committee. So we can vote on the first option, which is the inactive delegates. I think we have the Zoom, Vendish, what's the name?
We have participants.
Yes.
We have the list.
Yes, we have the list. So we can compile the list and know those who have been active from day one. Then those who are not active, we will officially write to their chapter executive with their list and and inform the chapters that these people have been removed from Congress. Please, I hope I'm clear. If someone has any thing to say with regards to what I said, else we'll vote on that.
I think you can move a motion on it and then.
Okay. So but we have to know the what we are discussing about. They will be deleted from Congress. So we won't regard them as delegates again.
Yes, please. I think.
Okay. So please, someone should move a motion so that we vote on that.
High confidence only do move the motion that all delegates who have not been active since day one be deleted from the Congress list, and the working list should be those who have been active on Zoom since day one.
Thank you very much. Please, any seconder.
I, Enin Vendish Kweku, the chairman of the LOC and the national organizer, do second to the motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, NJC. So with this one, do we need to vote, or since there's no counter motion, we go by it? NJC, I need clarification.
Decision by Congress should be by a majority vote. So let's vote on it.
Point of information, please. If the active members, the chair of the house, how many times will someone miss Congress to be deemed not actively participating?
Yeah. Okay, so I think we've had Congress for a week now. So maybe 1 week is like 7 days. So at least the person should be involved like at least 4 days out of the 7. Yes.
Okay,
that's
so
my suggestion.
We can vote on the first motion, then we come to the second one, which is the duration, right? So let's vote on the first motion, then we come to the duration. Tech team, please, if you can set the poll for us. So please, if you accept, it means that delegates who haven't been active at Congress will be deleted. If you reject, it means they shouldn't be deleted from Congress. Okay, so please, we can vote now.
Honorable SC, please, someone is requesting that you repeat the meaning of the polls.
The meaning of what? Okay, so accept means delegates who haven't been active at Congress will be deleted from the Congress list. And reject means they shouldn't be deleted. Tech team, I think voting is done. Okay, so we have 96% of members present accepting that delegates who haven't been active from day one should be deleted from Congress list. Okay, so that's settled. Now let's go to the second one. So how many days should be given to them? We started Congress from Tuesday and today is Monday, so we have 7 days. So Honorable Vendish, you can bring your suggestion again.
Okay, so since we've had Congress for 7 days now, we could use those who have not been active for like 4 days out of the 7. Yes. And those who have not been active for 4 days out of the 7, that means that they are not part, like they have not been actively involved. Then we can just delete them. Yeah, that's my suggestion.
Okay, thank you very much. Please, any further suggestion? Please, any further suggestion?
Yeah, Honorable Francisca, I think I would have a suggestion. We have time durations to which has been associated as per the Zoom rule. Seriously, wow, Siri and friend, not which week. Sorry. We have time allocations. I think we can also use the time to also accumulate the number of days. Let's say an honorable member joins the first day, less than an hour, then he or she leaves. The second day, same, he or she leaves. The third day, same, he or she leaves. I think that could also be as a basis where we can use to take such a person off the page. Thank you. So I think we should include the person also spends with us over there. Because as I said, the honorable member joins in for just an hour or two, or not even two. Sometimes when I was going through the timing, some even has a time of 3 minutes and the person goes out and he doesn't come back again.
Okay, with Honorable Clement's suggestion, calculating the time would be difficult because we have just up to tomorrow to work on this deletion. So if we are supposed to take the 1 day, 2, and be adding the times, it will take quite a long of time. So we just have to go by the days at least. So we have the list for like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4 up to like this date. So we just see if your name is not in it, then we just take you out. Yeah. Comparing to like adding the time and everything, it will take a longer time. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Vendish. So I'll give Honorable Sam and Honorable Thompson the opportunity to speak. Then we move a motion. Honorable Sam.
Can I be heard, please?
Yes, please.
Thank you. I think going by the time, it will be really, really complicated. I will go for 3 days. I think 3 days is cool. So that you know that if 7 days and at least I've not been able to join for 3 days and someone tells you, I think you yourself will feel bad about it. Yeah, so let's go for 3. Sorry, I suggest 3 rather than 4. I think 4 maybe is too much, but 3 is okay. To be on I think 3 is okay.
Thank you. Honorable Thompson.
I think that's the suggestion I'm going for, because some people might be switching from phone to machine, from phone to laptop, from laptop to phone. So, I mean, if you talk about the time, that is that's going to be a challenge. So the days will be better than the time.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Wow. So now, okay. Let's vote on the days or the time. Then we come to the number of days. Okay, so let's vote on one, the day, whether we should use days or we should use time. Then we'll come back and vote on the number of days that should be used. So someone should move a motion for, please, we have to close at 7, so let's make it quick. Someone should move a motion for whether we should use days or we should use time for the calculation. Honorable members, please.
Hi, Thompson, Emmanuel, and am I seconding now? I'm moving there.
You are moving.
Okay. Hi, Thompson, and I move the motion that we go by 3 days instead of the time.
No, move for whether day or time.
Okay. Hi, Thompson, Emmanuel, and I move for the motion that we should take the day.
Okay. Any seconder?
The chair the house.
Please.
The chair the house. I, Salimata Yakubu, seconds the motion.
Okay, thank you very much. Tech team, please help us to do the voting. So please, if you accept, it means you agree we go by the days. If you reject, it means we'll go by the time. So let's vote well. Accept means days, reject means we'll use time for the calculation. Okay, tech team, I think it's okay. We can display the results.
Inti ankacha kama standing for position kadi mbele.
Okay, so 100% accept the days. So we wouldn't use the time. Okay, thank you.
No,
Okay, let's vote on the number of days that we should use, whether 3 days or 4 days. So I think we've deliberated on it. So Honorable Thompson.
I think I moved the motion that we accept the 3 days. I don't know, unless I'm wrong.
No, I think you corrected that motion. So we are now coming to move a motion on that. So honorable members, please, someone should move a motion for the number of days that should be used.
Honorable Francis, I think Honorable Sam NJC moved for 3 days, so he only need a seconder to that earlier motion, then the 4 days too.
Okay, so
I, Francis Kwesi, support the motion that we should use 3 days to calculate participation at this year's Congress. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So the one who moved for 4 days, please, who moved for the 4 days? Honorable Vendish, right? Okay, please, any seconder to that?
Any seconder to which one, sir?
That will actually be a counter motion, which needs another debate for voting. So
no, that one I have withdrawn my
okay. You again.
Like seriously?
I don't want to be like Clement. I've withdrawn my motion.
Okay. So, honorable members, let's vote on the 3 days. If you accept the 3 days, you choose accept. If you don't agree to the 3 days, then you choose reject. So, tech team, please help us.
100%.
Please, let's vote on that.
Let's say vote. Thank you.
100%, Papa. Me sure, Papa.
Can withdraw my power as Congress member.
Madam Chair.
Yes, sir.
But you talk about more question. So you talk about now. You talk question that you talk about China now. Say you talk so much.
11. I got 2 minutes.
4,000.
We will continue tomorrow. We'll continue tomorrow, but
thank you.
Because the tech team, we are sleeping.
Okay,
we are all tired.
Honorable tech team, we will continue tomorrow, but we want to, like tomorrow, we don't want to waste time forming the quorum. So that's why we are coming up with this, so that we'll be able to.
Noted.
Yeah.
Noted.
And yes, tech team, I
want to.
Okay, so 79% of members here voted for 3 days. So, honorable members, we would have to do some calculations, which I think will be done by the LOC. And I think tomorrow morning, they will come up with the list of delegates which we need to delete for Congress, and we'll inform their chapter executives as well. So, LOC, please, tomorrow, what time are we starting? Because now we are not using the 136 members to form quorum. So I think we will form quorum early, and I pray that we'll finish Congress tomorrow.
Okay, so considering the number of articles left and everything, we have to consult the NJC and also discuss the time that we will be available. Like most of us will be available to coordinate. So we cannot decide the time now, but we will put the time to start tomorrow.
Jumpers.
We will start.
Okay, Honorable Bendish.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can I with the ones left, okay, I just kind of went through them. With the ones left, it's not all the remaining 30-something articles that have review, actually. Some of them don't have reviews at all. And also with the type of into quotation mark jumpers and everything that we have, I think if we make it evening time, many people are free during the evening hours rather than like something like 2 or 3 thereabout. Because if someone goes to jump, maybe the person. Yes, please.
For giving excuses or explanations to this, we would want you to give specific timing.
Okay, so
so that we can.
Maybe
yes,
if we can start at 6.
Thank you very much for the submission.
Yeah, 6 to 12 or 6 to 11, maybe.
Okay.
Honorable Sam, thank you very much for the submission.
The LOC will discuss on that, and then we'll notify notify congressmen. And
thank you. Then again, NJC had a submission. Honorable Sam, within 1 minute, can you summarize it and let the House know?
I think we will talk about this tomorrow because it's
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Sam. On that note, Honorable SG, please, do you have any final words to share with Congress?
No, I think I've said that, so we can join Congress.
Thank you very much. On that note, Honorable Sam, please have the platform and adjourn on the.
Yeah, we have to adjourn the review process before we adjourn Congress, please.
Okay.
Okay. So I, Samuel, the chair for the review process, would like to adjourn this meeting to tomorrow, a time that will be agreed by LOC. Please, any seconder to this adjournment.
I, Christabel, I second it. I second the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Christabel, for that.
Thank you very much, NJC, for your time. Your time is really duly noted. Thank you. On that note, Congress would be adjourned to tomorrow, and the time will be properly and duly communicated to congressmen and women on the platform. And the name list will be submitted to the SG as it will be pasted on the Congress list for further deletion and then forwarded to the various chapter executives for further discipline and explanation. Thank you very much, congressmen and women, for your time. We hope to see you tomorrow as Congress has been adjourned to tomorrow. Thank you. On that note, we're going to call upon our sister Efia from Xi'an, delegate member, to bring this meeting to a closure. Thank you.
Okay, please, let's pray. Almighty God, we started this meeting with you and we are closing with you. Thank you for making this meeting a successful one. We would not have done it without you. Lord, please let what we discuss here bear fruit in our lives and in others as well. Guide us as we are about to sleep. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Into voice way now on our DCM, but never casa the whole day. All right. Thank you very much, Honorable House, for your time. We wish to see you tomorrow. And please, let's come early so we finish up early. Thank you very much. Congress has been adjourned to tomorrow. Thank you. Honorable DJ, would you want to play something or we go to sleep?